Hi, my name is Gerhard Gschwandtner. Welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have the great pleasure of speaking with Kelly Hippler. She is the Chief Sales Officer at Forrester. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you, Gerhard. Very nice to join today.
Tell me about your first sale ever.
My first sale ever would be selling house painting. So actually, when I was in college, I worked for a company called College Pro Painters. And it was basically a franchise opportunity where we sold house painting to families over the summer and ran painting crews. It was my first experience running a P&L. So the first thing I sold was actually somebody letting me bring a bunch of college students come in and paint their home.
So what did you like about selling?
For me, I think it was always about trying to add value and address a pain point that an individual might have. So it was really great about, having a buyer, having some needs in the market and being able to match that to create a win-win situation. And I think that's something that I've always tried to carry forward.
Kelly, can you share a little bit about your growth as a manager and then as a leader? How did you break through those barriers?
I think I've been fortunate, and part of the reason I've been at Forrester for over 22 years is that I've continually had the opportunity to take on different challenges and be able to serve in different roles here, having access to our own thought leaders internally, especially on the sales side, to help shape a lot of what we're doing today. And our go-to-market has been hugely beneficial as well.
Technology minestrone is getting bigger and bigger. There are more moving parts. Mm-hmm. How do you manage that as a sales leader?
Technology is definitely an enabler that can help sales to become more efficient and more effective moving forward. But I do think having an overall strategy for your tech stack is really important. And one of the things that we've done is leverage the Series Decision Sales Activity Study to really understand where are our reps spending their time, and where do we have the opportunity to free them up from other activities so that they can spend more direct time with clients, trying to make sure that we are lining up those tech investments with where we have the most opportunity to help drive productivity, make it easier for our reps to be more effective and deliver a good client experience is how we think about prioritizing some of those areas.
How do you leverage AI right now?
We are definitely on a journey there, and our sales operations team, one of the things we've been talking about is really trying to become more of an insights-driven organization right now. So we're doing a lot more with deeper data analysis and digging into what's in the CRM. Historically, we've been a little rearview mirror focused, but to focus a little bit more around sort of where to go next with the selling situation, as well as trying to find patterns across different buyers. We've done a lot of work to date with sort of TAM analysis, things that drive likelihood of renewals. So from a customer success perspective, what volumes of interaction with us and in what frequency and sequence tend to lead to better outcomes is probably one good example of a way that we've done it to try to help shape our engagement model. And we continue to look for ways to do that as we move forward with our selling motion.
Do you think that AI is going to improve and change the quality of the conversations?
I think it has the opportunity to really help managers to become better coaches, for sure. And I think that there are ways to be able to do more on-the-spot coaching and help people dissect better potential answers or better potential paths to take a conversation down that in today's world are kind of hard to scale. So absolutely, I see a lot of change coming.
You mentioned earlier about diversity, how important it is to reflect the changes that are going on in society. A lot of people are confused about what is the best people strategy, and what are some of the guidelines that you can share?
Forrester literally just a year ago stood up a diversity and inclusion council, and I'm honored to be one of the executive team sponsors there because it is such important work, both for our employees as well as our client base. And I think one of the things that we've seen is, historically, and I don't think Forrester is unique, but because of the type of sale that we did, we relied very heavily on referrals to bring new people in the door. And what you realize is the downside of relying on referrals is that your population of sellers over time can become quite homogenous. So we have been working with our talent acquisition partners to talk about what can we do to make sure that we're getting a more diverse candidate pool in the door? And then one of the things that we've been training our leaders on has been behavioral-based interviewing, to really help try to take bias out of the interview process and really focus on, within the sales organization, we've identified a couple of key traits that individuals tend to have who are successful at Forrester, and really making sure that the interview teams are honing in on those key traits when they're conducting interviews to help over the fullness of time us to both attract and then ultimately retain a more diverse workforce.
You really exemplify what I would call executive presence.
Our goal is to help executives to be able to run their businesses better. So
Right.
That's fantastic to hear that that's the feedback and that's the impression, because that is what our teams wake up every day, trying to figure out how we can best help executives throughout the world to run their businesses better and deliver better results. So thank you. That's quite a compliment.
Yeah, and everybody's looking for perspective and insight, and I think Forrester delivers. And I want to thank you for taking the time to share your perspective and your insight. You've been great. Thank you.
Thank you, Gerhard. Very much appreciated the conversation.